Okay, now it's time for the latter portion of the first trial date. Let's jump into this one. February 23rd, 11:56 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 2. Mr. Wright? Huh? What? Are trials always like this with you? Like you're swimming up from the bottom of a lake, about to reach the surface, but no matter how hard you paddle, you never seem to get there? Pretty much. Except today, we're swimming in quicksand. So what happened to your sister anyway? Apparently she got called off to the judge's chambers. Wait a minute, how do you know about that and not me? Probably something to do with that piece of cloth. So, this is where we turn this trial around, right? Our only weapon, a tiny, insignificant piece of cloth. I'm the one who's starting to feel tiny and insignificant, to tell the truth. Hola, partner. Yes, I love this guy. They say you show a red cloth to a bull, it'll fire up its temper. That's what they told me when I was a youngin' at least. Officer Marshall. Thought I'd come take a look-see at how the trial's going. Looks like I'm late. They've got the home ranch locked down tighter than a fort in enemy territory. That hard to slip out, huh? What's going on over there anyway? All the police I've seen these last 2 days have been really on edge. Don't you got enough on your plate without worrying about other people, compadre? You could be worrying about the chief prosecutor's taste in mufflers, for example. Officer Marshall? The whole muffler thing didn't have anything to do with scarves. She wasn't even wearing a scarf. Gulp, 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 gulp. You don't say. Now, don't that beat all? Huh? I've seen the red breeze blow at her slender neck many a time. Saw it that day, too. She was wearing a red muffler. What? At the awards ceremony that afternoon. Edgeworth seen it too, I'd reckon. What does this mean? In the photo taken at the crime scene, she wasn't wearing a scarf. So, Miss Starr wasn't mistaken. Well, it's about time. Remember, partner, sometimes you gotta grab the bull by the horns. And sometimes you just gotta let the bull go where it will. Time will tell. Ugh, I have a bad feeling about this. So, what are we swimming in now, Mr. Wright? We're swimming in shit. If it's steak sauce, I can hook you up with some fine ribs. Ooh-wee! February 23rd, 12:32 p.m. District Court number 9. Rubble, 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 rubble. Clack. I'd like to resume. What's up? The judge keeps looking over at the prosecution. Is something wrong, Mr. Edgeworth? Your face is blue, your lips are purple, you're sweating bullets. That furrowed brow, those grinding teeth, those lovely watery eyes. What's more, your eyes are unfocused, you're doubled over, your back is bent. Are you having a stroke? It can't be. This can't happen. I wonder what happened to Mr. Edgeworth. Clack. Well then, I believe it is time we continue with this trial. During our recess, I had requested the prosecution conduct an investigation. This is unacceptable. It seems our prosecutor is quite beside himself. Excuse me. Knock, knock. Who's there? Rude cow. Rude cow who? Moo! What's with this guy? A strange, stuffy aura seems to be filling the courtroom. Hey, the temperature rose 5.7 degrees when that man came in. Who on earth is he? It's you! Okay. Oh. Sorry I'm late, G. The roads were packed. It's just me. Long time no see, eh, G? How you been? Swim much these days? Hello, no, I've been so busy. Busy schmizzy, G. My boy, you have to make time to relax. Yes, indeed. Udgy seems to be his nickname for the judge. I'm afraid you're right. Very afraid. Sorry, but who are you? So you're Righto, the attorney. I've heard good things about you, son. Thanks. So sorry about our little worthy giving you all that trouble, eh? You know, we should all go swimming together sometime. Jolly. Little worthy? Mr. Wright? You don't know the district chief of police? Chief of police? He's the top-ranking police officer in the entire district. Name's Gaunt, Damon Gaunt. Pleased to meet you, everybody. So, to do what we, oh my God. So to what do we owe this honor today? It's been over 2 years since you last came to this courtroom, hasn't it? Well, it's worthy here. Look at the poor fellow. I just thought I'd help out by bringing this. Hey, that's my sister's muffler. So Miss Star wasn't just seeing things. When the crime occurred, Miss Sky really was wearing that muffler. But to think that it was stuffed into that exhaust pipe. Our little worthy's car, no less. It's really quite embarrassing, even for us. What's this? It's what you'd call a switchblade knife. Quite perplexing, this. Rubble, 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 rubble. Objection! Chief? What kind of outfit are you running? Mr. Edgeworth? How could they miss such a vital piece of evidence? If your investigators are this lax, how do you expect us to do our job? Now, wait a minute, Worthy. I've no desire to hear your... I'm telling you to wait. Shut your pie hole, or didn't you hear me? Have a look at this document, where it says, person in charge of investigation. There's no mistaking that signature, is there, Miles Edgeworth? That's not fair. On the day of the crime, I had your head in the clouds because you got that award. I know how you feel. But you're the person in charge. I'll expect a written apology. But what? Are you serious? Don't be too upset. We'll find a way to clean up this mess that you made. This is the first time I've seen Mr. Edgeworth at a loss for words. Clack. This kind of major blunder is unlike you, Mr. Edgeworth. Gah. The court accepts this evidence, this new evidence, but I'd like to ask the defense a favor. Yes? Just to be sure, I'd like to take a look at the blade of this knife. The blade, Your Honor? Well, I don't see why not. Could you open it for me, I wonder? Yes, well, I think all you have to do is push that switch and... If I cut my finger, Mr. Wright, I wouldn't be able to pound my gavel anymore. Yeah, but if I cut my finger, I wouldn't be able to point it at I wouldn't be able to point at people anymore. I'm getting really tongue-tied. Come on, just hurry up and open it. Oh my god, just go the other way. You don't have to go all the way across the evidence. Okay. Ah, don't scare me like that. I'm the one who should be scared. Look at this knife. Look at this knife blade. The tip is broken off. And this dark red stain. Blood? Switchblade knife added to the court record. This does not excuse the actions of the police department. I would like to hear an explanation from the chief of police himself. Clack. I'm terribly sorry, but could I ask you to testify for us? About the split between the prosecutors and the police and this knife? Oh, sure thing. Not a problem. Not even a little one, really. Department in disorder. This knife is special, but I can't say how here. Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. A detective was killed at the police department, see? What a mess. The time of the crime? 5:15. Scary coincidence, eh? It's not officially linked to this case here, so I can't talk much about it. There was a murder at the police department? A detective? That's hush-hush information, Udgy. We haven't exactly announced it yet. Objection. Wait a second. You said 5:15. That's the exact time that that Detective Gumshoe was killed at the prosecutor's office. Rubble, 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 rubble. Clack, 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 clack. Order, order, order! Anyway, we at the department were all flustered, as you might well assume. We're in the middle of a top secret investigation. Don't tell anyone, okay? Shh. I think we understand the police department situation. Well, Mr. Wright? 2 detectives killed at the same time in 2 different places. Chances of that are really slim. Scientifically speaking, of course. I'd like to exercise my right to cross-examine the witness. Very well. However, keep your questions focused on the case at hand. Okay, before we even do that, because I already see something here. There's a small tag on the knife. It says SL92. What's that supposed to mean? I'm not sure, but it reminds me of a similar code. DL6. Maybe it's a case number. That's weird. What? I don't remember where, but I think I've seen something like this before. Something similar to what's written on this tag. It wasn't that long ago either. Maybe I should check the court record again. Yeah. Nah, it's not gonna let me do it yet. But you see it's upside down. SL9 212. Or 221 rather. Okay. Excuse me. Special? Mm-hmm. Hard to come by this particular knife anywhere else. Might that special thing be this little tag? Oh, sorry, Righto. But I can't say that now. Not that. We've established that the knife in Goodman's chest was this knife. Now, why was there another knife at the scene of the crime? That's quite a mystery. And like a mystery, it's wrapped in something, a muffler. Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. This knife was found on the scene of the crime. I think that makes it connected to the case, don't you? See, There's a lot of things that go on at the department I can't explain. It's delicate, okay? Sorry, Righto. Maybe there's something about the knife that will give us a clue. I've already looked at it. Let's examine that knife while we can, Righto. Evidence that links this knife to Detective Goodman. I think perhaps the pieces are falling into place. I should try pressing the piece of evidence that had me stumped all this time. So, how were things down at the department? That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. Okay, back up. I guess he's blatantly telling me that I should just present this. Oops, sorry, hit the mic. Objection! Wait a second. Ah, at last, an honest-to-goodness objection. This knife, this has to have something to do with Detective Goodman. What do you mean? Aha! And honest to goodness, what do you mean from Udgy? This is great. Look at the tag on this knife. It reads SL92. And this is important? Why? Over here we also have a memo that was on the body of the victim. What's this? 6 minus 7s, 12/2. Your Honor, it's upside down. Upside... The printed name on the memo makes it look like it's right side up. But turn it around and what do we get? Ah! Aha! Whoever wrote this note was holding the paper upside down. SL9? Well, that's the same thing that is written on the knife's tag. Clack, clack. Order, order! Well, Chief? Huh, well, I guess the cat's out of the bag. You win, Righto. I win? Ah, what game is this guy playing? The knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. So this knife was stolen? Yes, but on the day of the murder, it was evidence, you say. Was it, in fact, a murder weapon? Nice, nice. A good show, Little Worthy. It was a murder weapon as it happens. It was evidence from a case long since solved. So this knife was stolen on the day of the murder, and it was found in the exhaust pipe of Edgeworth's car. Hard to think there isn't a connection there. That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. Okay, what else am I supposed to be doing here? Is there something else I should be... Well, we'll press. Something happened at the police department too, huh? You got a good look in your eyes there, Righto, my boy. Sharp, hungry. So something did happen, and why wasn't I informed? Why weren't you informed? Well, why didn't you ask? No matter, I understand you were busy, what with Lana's case and all. Well, what happened? What happened at the police department that day? A detective was killed at the police department, see? What a mess. Hold it. On the same day that a detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed at the police station. Well, that's a fact. Surprising, isn't it, Udgy? I'm at a loss for words. And the perpetrator? Do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact. Just arrested? That was quick. But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you could help, Righto. I suppose I could help if you help me by giving me data on your case. Oh, good one. The kid's sharp. Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing, and one thing only. Where the victim was found. How the victim was killed. What should I do? I can only pick one. Yeah, let's go with this one. So tell me, where was the victim found? Well, I can't speak on where the corpse was found, but I can say the crime took place in the evidence room at the police department. The evidence room? Wait a second. I've heard of that. The evidence room? Didn't he mention that in his testimony just now? The knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. There's the connection between the two cases. You seem happy, Mr. Wright. Happy? We just handed our ticket to... We just got our... Start over. We just got handed our ticket to go to town on this case. With the link between the two cases established, we finally have some leverage. Now we can get Gant to testify about the details. I'm not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it. Well... Do I present evidence here, or what do I... Well, let's press. Chief. The defense's position is simply this. The connection between these two cases has already been proven. Huh, you don't say. Well, out with it, Wright-o. What's your connection? Yes, out with it, Mr. Wright. The connection is a place mentioned in the testimony we just heard. The knife found in the lot was stolen from the police department's evidence room. Not to mention the victim had on him the case number of the knife's evidence bag. And we also know that the detective murdered at the police department was killed in the very same evidence room. Indeed, there do seem to be too many connections for it to be a coincidence. You two make a good pair. It took my men 2 days to find out what you deduced right here. Chief, I request that you release your information on the victim at the police department. See, that's the tricky part. It hasn't been announced yet and all. Can we get the information unofficially? Sure, why not? It's unofficial after all. What, really? Who would have guessed? I'll cooperate, but I can't reveal the name of the victim at the department, okay? Hold it. If you're going to tell us a little, why not tell us everything? Well, case information is sticky stuff. You have to do everything properly. Oh well, I guess I might as well try to get what I can out of him. Yeah, that's gonna be... Okay, how about you tell me the victim's ID number? Sure, why not? It's not like you'll be able to tell who it is from that. Of course not. You won't tell me their name after all. We keep a tight lid on ID numbers, so don't go getting your hopes up. The number is 584-2189. Wow, that's quite long. And we have to remember these. It drives me nuts. 82... I can't do it. You didn't even get the first number right. Well, Mr. Wright, does this tell you anything? The ID number of that victim at the police department, 584-2189. Oh yeah, it does tell me something. Actually, it does, Your Honor. It does. I think. Meaning? It has to be what I think it is. But what does this mean? Clack. Well, let's hear what the defense has to say. You say the ID number of the detective who was murdered at the police department tells you something? What does it tell you? Oh, shit. Oh, sorry, my thumb got a little jumpy there. Yeah. Take that. Witness. What is it, Mr. Wright? You're grinning like a schoolgirl on prom night. You're about to go down like a schoolgirl on prom night. No, it's just, I got confused. And this is news? Huh? Just come out with both guns blazing like you always do. The police department, the prosecutor's office. 2 places, 2 detectives murdered at one time. Actually, I happen to have a police ID number here. Oh, is it yours? No, Your Honor. I'm a defense attorney, remember? This is the ID number of our victim, Detective Goodman. Shame on you, Righto. Personnel IDs are top secret. Detective Goodman's ID number is 584-2189. And this means what exactly? Huh? Wait. That ID number we heard from the chief earlier. That started with 8 wait, I've forgotten. You didn't even get the first number right. Again. The number the chief of police gave us was 584-2189. Objection. Wait a second, Wright. What does this mean? That's what I want to know. The 2 ID numbers are identical. In other words, the detective killed in the police department's evidence room was Bruce Goodman. What does our witness think about that? Oh, sharp as a tack, Righto. Sharp as a tack. But wait, Detective Goodman is our victim. He was killed at 5:15 in the underground parking lot. Yet a detective, Bruce Goodman, was also killed at the police department, in the evidence room, at the same exact time. Objection. That's impossible. So, what we're saying is, the same person was killed at the same time, in a completely different location? Rubble, 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 clack. Clack, clack, clack. Order, order, order! Chief, what does this mean? Objection. No. What I want to know is, why didn't I hear about this? Yes, it's top secret, fine, but I'm the prosecutor in charge of the case. Now, just wait a second, Worthy. No need to get all flustered. Your Honor, the police department has made a grave error in this case. Wait. I said wait. Or didn't you hear me? The oversight, the grave error, Mr. Edgeworth, they're yours. What? Nani? How dare you? We informed you yesterday. I believe it was our Officer Meekins who brought you the news. Officer Meekins? Mr. Wright, where have we heard that name before? Wait, aha! Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth, anywhere on the premises? I can't do his voice now. I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir. You don't mean him? According to Meekins, you didn't accept the report. Hard to believe, but your officer, he told me. He said that report was nothing to do with the Lana Sky incident. Detective Bruce Goodman murdered in the police department evidence room. Mr. Edgeworth, the victim's name is written right on the top of the cover of the report. Why didn't your officer tell me? Honestly, I'm not sure if that officer was capable of making the connection. He did seem challenged. In any case, this is a serious error, a gross negligence of duty on your part, Worthy. Objection. But sir, you could have submitted that report this morning to the court as evidence. Then No such luck this time, Worthy. Or should I say, unworthy? What? Nani? Now, what was the second rule of evidence law? Well, Mr. Wright? Huh? Oh, well, it's, Rule number 2, unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. And how is this rule relevant? Normally, you submit a list of evidence to be used in court before the trial. This report wasn't on that list. So, what does this mean? I couldn't submit this evidence until a connection was proven in court. The connection was just proven by Wright over there. Good job, Wright, my boy. Huh? I was just doing my job. No. No! Rubble. It seems we have come to the end of this trial. I know you're going through a tough time, Worthy. What with all these rumors. You were even in the defendant's chair just this past December. I apologize for this terrible lack of due diligence on my part. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, please, just give me one day. I'll get to the bottom of what happened, if it's the last thing I do. You'd better get results this time, really. You have my profound apologies, sir. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. Clack. I don't think there's ever been an error this serious in the history of this court. I will grant one further day as the prosecution has requested. Will that be sufficient, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Whatever your punishment for this is, for your sake, I hope it's not decisive. Clack. Very well, court is adjourned. To be continued. Well, that was a short chapter. Save your progress. Yes. Alright, I'm gonna get up really quick, but I'll be back in just a second. Okay, let's resume. February 23rd, 2:15 p.m., Wright & Company, Law Offices. Mr. Wright? So, what's going on with the case anyway? I'm a little confused. Huh? Let's see, what's going on? The victim, Detective Bruce Goodman, was stabbed to death after 5 p.m. on the 21st. He died in the prosecutor's parking lot and the police department's evidence room. What's this and the evidence room part? The prosecutor's office and the police department are 30 minutes apart by car. Well, that's what we're gonna find out. Or try to, at least. Alright, let's do it. Glad she's in good spirits, but I'm not sure she's going to be much help with this. Don't be so sure, Mr. Wright. Huh? Look, we're in this together, right? I'll prove that these thick-rimmed glasses of mine aren't just for show. Let's go. Science awaits us. February 23, prosecutor's office, underground parking lot. You know, I really don't think we should worry about the police department murder. There wasn't even a body found there. Who cares? Yeah, it was only our victim who was killed in their evidence room. No biggie. Besides, my sister would never do such a thing. I know it. That oil drum, was it empty? The oil drum kicked over by the police chief, the chief prosecutor, oh my god, tongue-tied, was brimming with water. I kept wanting to say police chief because I saw the word chief. My sister erasing evidence at the scene of a crime? Never. Even though she says they don't get along, Emma really likes her sister. That's not it at all. It's just, we're both professionals at what we do, and I trust her. Big words for a high school student. Well, whether there was blood on the floor or not, the water in that oil drum washed it all away. Ignore the strength of my science at your own peril, Mr. Wright. Huh? What's that grin for? This situation calls for one thing, and that is luminol testing fluid. Luminol? Blood is sticky stuff, you know. You can't just wash it away with a little water. Even if you can't see it, it's still there. But wouldn't the police have already done those tests? Never trust anyone's eyes but your own, Mr. Wright. Just give it a try. Me? Why do I have to do it? I'm a minor. I can't even drink yet. We're testing bloodstains with this stuff, not drinking it. Here, look. I'll lend you these glasses. Huh? You had an extra pair of these things? To test for a blood reaction, just spray the luminol on it. Like this, see? Ah, yes, I see. Press enter to spray. Okay. Okay, let's find us some blood stains. Okay, I know where to start looking. There they are. I can see her eyes shining behind those glasses. So this is a blood stain? It's so, Emma, you're shaking. It's just, this is my first time seeing real blood. Scientific investigation in action. Okay, well, we definitely know that this is a blood stain. But doesn't something strike you as odd? Scientifically speaking, of course. What's odd about this? Scientifically. The amount of blood is weird. The perpetrator and Detective Goodman fought here, right? Don't you think there'd be a little more blood? I definitely think so. I mean, look at all the blood on the sole of the victim's shoe. It is pretty strange. If they fought here, there had to have been more blood than this. Hey, Mr. Wright. I'm gonna mark the floor plan where we find a bloodstain, okay? See? It's pretty handy to have around, right? Yeah. This stuff's pretty handy, too. I saved up my allowance to buy that. Luminol testing fluid received from one very proud-looking Emma Skye. We can't be sure that the police will reveal all their evidence in court. Sometimes they fail to mention evidence that doesn't fit with their view of the case. Then let's drag that hidden evidence out into the light of day. Yeah! Feels like we're really investigating a crime now, doesn't it? Guess I should give this a spray on anything suspicious. Ha! Ah, you're back. I wonder how that fluid of yours would react to a nice deli box. A star! You only trust your eyes, Not bad, you two. This day-old deli box is on the house. Sorry, it's just that kind of lead-in doesn't really get my mouth watering. Okay. Today's trial, you certainly put me in a tight spot today. My apologies, Miss Starr, but no, it's okay. It was my fault. Oh, we know. I witnessed everything from the security room right there. But I was afraid that wouldn't sound convincing enough, you see. So you committed perjury? I was wrong to think that. I'm sorry. Sorry? You lied on the witness stand. That's unforgivable. Little girl, don't forget what's important here. Even if the place I witnessed the events from was different, I still saw what I saw. I saw Chief Prosecutor Sky stab a man in cold blood, and that testimony still stands. I don't think so, lady. Ah. I swear it on my honor as a detective. She stabbed Goodman. I know this photograph has something important to tell us, but what? I want this one? I don't know. Okay. So, you were a detective, weren't you, Miss Starr? Yes. It was a long time ago. Well, 2 years, actually. No matter how hardened the criminal, when they faced me, they coughed it up. Coughed it up, huh? They confessed. They babbled like babies. You know, I may seem like a demon sometimes, but I be an angel too. I can be an angel too. Oh my god. I think I need to get to rest after this chapter. I wouldn't doubt it. Every day I drag the dirt out of the mouths of suspect after suspect, and before long they called me the cough up queen. Oh, and here I thought someone had gotten food poisoning from your lunches. Already made that joke about an hour ago. And you were let go or fired? I felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator. And if these prim and proper prosecutors hadn't let me go, I'd still be one. It's all because of that case, the SL9 incident. SL9? Wait, she doesn't mean... Okay, time to start presenting stuff to this girl. What do you think about this? The SL9 incident. It's written on that knife. And on that note, Goodman. Goodman was the head detective on that case, you know. Really? That knife was evidence from that case. The murder weapon. It was due for transferal the very day that Goodman was killed. As I suspected, SL9 isn't over. Not yet. Do you think you could tell us more about the SL9 incident? I guess not. Let's see if there's anything else. Could you take a look at this? You... Yes? You said you wanted some hot tea, right? No, but thanks. She didn't even look at it. You must have to brew the leaves a long time to get rich flavor like this. We pre-infuse the leaves with steam before brewing. I knew it. So that's the secret to their aroma. Exquisite. The only thing I'm smelling here is wasted time. If you think about it, I could have taken that picture from the guard room. But even I get flustered sometimes. So you went straight to the scene of the crime? I rushed toward the chain link fence in an effort to stop the murder. That's when I took this photo, yes. In other words, 5 minutes after the crime. Those 5 minutes are the whole problem. The hole in my testimony, as it were. The 5 minutes weren't the problem, Miss Starr. Your lying was the problem. Listen, little girl. I've had my testimony disregarded before. And I wasn't going to have it disregarded again. Just like that time. That time? Here we go. That incident really opened up my eyes to the truth. We're nothing to them. Disposable. Disposable to who? 2 years ago, it was the biggest case I'd ever handled. The police and the prosecutors were desperate for a decisive evidence. So they didn't solve it? On the contrary, it was solved quite cleanly. The criminal was caught and executed. Executed? Yes, the criminal got what was coming to him. It doesn't get any cleaner than that. The only problem was, they never did find decisive evidence. Not a shred. What? But the criminal was executed, right? On the basis of evidence. Of a sort. Made up evidence. But what? You mean they executed someone with fabricated evidence? The best part came several months later after the trial. Every detective involved with the case was dealt with. Some were demoted to patrolmen, others found themselves out of a job. And you were one of those? Myself, and one other person you know well. Wait, could it be... Exactly. Detective Jake Marshall. Oops, I mean... Patrol Department Security Detail Officer Jake Marshall. As professional detectives, we investigated the case from every angle. Jake was particularly determined. And then it was over, and he was demoted. However, he hasn't forgotten, and neither have I. You haven't forgotten SL9? There was another side to that case, a hidden side. That's what we're after now. And no one up in their fancy offices can stop us. Wait, those lunches you sell. There is only one reason I come to sell lunches in this accursed office. I come here to meet old friends, boyfriends that can help me investigate. Miss Starr's old boyfriends? How many does she have, anyway? Just when all the detectives on SL9 have disappeared, we find new evidence. There has to be a connection. So, rookie. What? It seems like you're serious about investigating this case. Yes. Then you should take this. Salisbury steak lunch? I know a certain guy who might help you if you tempt him with this treat. Steak lunch received from Miss Starr. Miss Starr? Officer Marshall, is he your, are you going out? Why do you want to know? I was just wondering what happened to him. A long time ago when he was helping my sister do cases, he was so nice. He got along so well with my sister, it made me jealous. And he was nice to me too back then. This would be when Officer Marshall was a detective. But now he's so cold. Jake and I are merely cooperating on this investigation. We're putting the past to rest, as it were. Nothing more than that. I see. Thank you. Officer Jake Marshall. Okay, let's see if there's anything else we can show her. Salisbury steak. Oh, I even get to check it out. Wow, my mouth is watering. I can almost hear the sound of steak frying on the grill. No doubt it's all cold and tough by now. No, I'm sure it's delicious. Miss Starr poured her heart into making this. So long as she didn't put any other organs in there. Okay, let's... Ooh, what do we have here? Let's see... Ingredients. Meat. She must mean beef. She probably just wrote it generically. Yeah, let's hope so. Of course, as a scientist, I have to check what additive she's used. Go to town. Huh? It says here, hours of sweat and labor. So that's why the sauce is so salty. Very amusing. Okay. Wonder if we can... You'll give that to Jake like I asked, won't you? You and Officer Jake, are you going out? Jake and I are cooperating on an investigation, that's all. We're just putting the past to rest. Thank you. Okay. I don't think there's really anything else I need to show her. Let's go to the detention center. Looks like Miss Sky is in questioning. I hope the detectives aren't yelling at her. How did you kill him in 2 places at the same time? Can you imagine? How's she supposed to answer that? Wait a second. Didn't Mr. Gant say they'd arrested a suspect in the police department murder? Let's come back later. Yeah, he did say that, didn't he? February 23rd, Police Station, Criminal Affairs Department. Wow, everyone looks deadly serious here. Well, there was a vicious murder of a detective down at the police department. Yes, but the same detective was also killed at the same time in the prosecutor's lot. Makes my head hurt. Well, first things first, let's go check out the police department crime scene. Yes, you sound dead set on investigating. But don't mess up or we could wind up dead. I doubt anyone wants more mysteries or dead bodies around here right now. But it doesn't look like anyone's going to help us much either. Check out the Blue Badger. This is the police mascot, is it? The Blue Badger. The future star of the police force. The design's a little changed from the one outside. Well, the Dancing Blue Badger, trademark, is still under development, you see. You have it trademarked? Absolutely, it's cutting-edge stuff. Very now. I showed this doll here to my daughter, and she burst into tears. Don't show her the moving mock-up outside, then. You'll give her nightmares. That must be the chief of detectives. He's glued to his computer screen. What? Detective killed in the evidence room. Tell no one outside the police department. No! I told that old lady at the restaurant everything. Someone's getting a demotion. Okay. Police department entrance. February 23rd, police department entrance. It's even busier here today than it was yesterday. Oh, sorry, that's Phoenix. It was even busier here today than it was yesterday. The detectives are running around so fast, they're blurring. I suppose it makes sense. A detective did get killed here after all. So the evidence room? Scene of the crime. According to the pamphlet we got at the front desk. Here it is. She's like a kid in an amusement park. Oh, a real crime scene. Let's go take a look. Okay, I don't think there's anything here to examine. Move. Yeah, I wonder whose station this is. Evidence room entrance. Guard station. What's with the decor in this place? It's very eccentric. According to the pamphlet, this is the guard station for the evidence room. So beyond that door is the evidence room. The scene of the crime? It sure seems that way. Oh! What's wrong? It's those cacti. They're so prickly, so imposing. It's hard to think straight. You can't handle the cacti. Stay out of the desert. What I want to know is, if this is a guard station, I have a feeling I know who he is already. Yeah, I accidentally clicked past the line, so I didn't finish it. But I think I know what he said. If this is a guard station, then who's stationed here, I imagine. Let's see. Do we move? Nope, can't go that way. Examine. Okay. I'm going to examine, and then I'm going to get the hell out of here, because I need some rest. I'm stumbling over lines. I just need to pack it in for the night. Look on the floor, a lasso. Looks like it's set up to trap someone. A trap? Here? Wait, I know. Maybe someone was trying to catch a wild bull in here. But the lasso missed. You sure have an active imagination. The evidence room is beyond that door. Let's just walk in. It won't open. You thought it would open? I think we'd need someone's permission to go in there first. Oh. Same thing. It looks like there's a video feed from the evidence room here. There's a light blinking below the monitor. It says recording. I bet we could use this computer to check on who went in there and out, who went in and out of there. Yeah, I bet. Yipes, these sure are prickly. They must be the real deal. I would think just one big one would be sufficient. These cacti are a lot like my sister, actually. How so? Encased in a cold, rigid shell with spines pointing in every direction. Just like her. I'm not sure I see the resemblance. It's more of an attitude thing than a physical similarity. This swinging door makes this place look like some kind of saloon. But look, it's nailed shut. You can't get in that way. Of course not. If you went in through here, the cactus would fall over. Ouch. I'd say it'd be more of a yar myself. What if that was supposed to be like a Wilhelm scream? There's a security guard uniform hanging here. It looks more like a costume than a uniform, honestly. A leather jacket, leather pants, a leather... What was that called again? A pinchy... Oh, I know. A poochie. Wait a minute. That wasn't it. It's a poncho. But I think I'll keep that information to myself for the time being. Okay. Texas. Yeah, everything's bigger in Texas. Okay, that looks like everything. I'm just going to pick it up here on another night. I am very tired and I'm stumbling over my words. So I think that had better be it. Thank you for watching and I'll be back.